I did want to stream tonight when I'm recording this, but unfortunately my internet is being throttled and definitely not helped by the fact my parents are hijacking my bandwidth with their fucking Roku. They've been binge watching The Good Place for the past 3 days or so. I need to have a conversation about that, I do think. But, so, to compensate for the fact that I can't stream because my internet speed is being completely fucked, I decided instead I'm just going to record this. Kerbal Scuffed Program 2. Jeb is dead, and we killed him. Or the frickin' funny frogman, so, let's not waste time and see what other horrible incidents that, Martin's Kerbals have been subjected to. Kerbals, not Kerbins. I forget what the plural is sometimes. I need to speak proper English. God damn, I get tongue-tied so easily.
Hello again.
Hi.
Bill here. Today, we're back in KSP, ready and willing to send our brave Kerbonauts off to almost certain death.
Almost certain. Almost certain death, Martin. I'm sure you mean certain death with the way you fling them around.
Again. In this episode of our space catastrophe journey, we're taking another step towards the stars and going to the other planets in our own solar system. Hey there. In case you forgot, our glorious,
that is a chunky rocket.
Dubious space program has one goal. Reach another star system, land on its exoplanet, plant a flag, and return. Great sacrifices have been made in this pursuit, and a great many more will surely come.
Well, like tossing Jeb into the ground into the water at Mach 2. Endless.
So what happened in the last episode? Well,
recap. It's been about a week.
Almost got to orbit. Actually got to orbit. Told Kevin off for being a terrible student. Yeah, you heard me. We're not
Don't do my boy like that.
And then did a solid moon landing. Nice. Oh yeah,
nice.
And Jeb died. Rest in peace. It's okay though, because we have a replacement pilot. Valentina Kermit. Like the video if you think Valentina will live out a long and illustrious career in the Bean space program.
My answer would be no. Presuming how this is going to go, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be dead soon, aren't they? Valentina's going to be dead soon, isn't she?
To achieve our ambitious goals, we've loaded the game up with mods, creating a buggy,
PowerPoint,
and feature-packed mess of a game.
Oh, if you want to play it in PowerPoint
mode, create some surface bases on the planets in our solar system. We'll sprinkle a couple on Duna and Eve, maybe some around the local gas giant Jewel, and finally one on the furthest out planet, Elu. So what
if it works
since the last video? Well, a few things, all within the Kerbin system. We sent Valentina to Kerbin's other moon, Minmus. We went to the moon a couple more times, and we also maybe could have possibly killed all the remaining Kerbals. That didn't take long.
What did I say? What did I say?
Valentina died in a tragic time acceleration accident while trying to get back into her capsule on the moon. Bob also died in a tragic time acceleration accident while trying to land on the moon. Oh!
It seems to be...
My fuck!
The common factor there was obviously the time acceleration, Martin.
Bill died after taking this terrible affront to God for a high-speed test drive.
And... I would say that's probably something about the aerodynamics, but I'm not a physicist, so I'm probably not qualified to explain it in depth.
So no more Jeb, Val, Bob, or Bill. Rest in peace.
You don't have any more pilots.
Instead,
what the fuck are you gonna do?
Recruited Urk and Elza Kerman. They've served on a few missions each, and not died in the process.
Good for them.
Yet. Anyway, let us continue.
See, from what little bit I have played of Kerbal Space Program, again, I've only played through the tutorials a little bit, catastrophic failure is really an inevitability more than a uncertainty unless you're just a complete god at it. But, it's often more fun to have a catastrophic failure than it is to constantly succeed. Or at least it's funnier. Mostly because of jank-ass physics. Kerbal Space Program 2 actually comes out soon. I should really get that. But I got so many other games in my backlog to play and other stuff to buy, and because I'm crazy and I'm playing the Trails games. Oh, God. I think I'm just going to stop streaming RPGs, too, because they take way too long to stream, honestly. You know what, that's a conversation for another time. Back to this. Let's see what we're launching this episode. It's a good morning at the Bean Space Program. How's it going to go wrong today?
Ah yes, the sweet sound of incredibly loud birds. We're starting our interplanetary exploration with the easiest planet to visit, Duna, which is the Kerbal equivalent of Mars.
Yep.
Our first mission,
Basically Mars.
manned probe in orbit. This probe will map out the surface and establish a site for future missions to land and perhaps even colonize. For this mission, we've
Colonize Mars, a worthy goal, a worthy goal. Don't tell Elon about it. Don't tell Musk. Just don't tell him. Oh hey, I can put down the video tags now.
created the most powerful rocket ever built. For like the 7th time. Its name,
I mean,
Joe Biden. It has 2 big solid boosters.
Okay. If we're gonna go from Obama Prism, might as well go to Joe Biden. Okay, if you were gonna make a joke about naming rockets after presidents, what would the joke be for George Washington? Or some others? What would you do for Trump, and how could we make it catastrophically explode in the most fantastic way possible? It's just a complete take that. Thanks for later.
A powerful core stage, and a very efficient upper stage. Now let's get this lad into orbit.
Let's see how it flies. By the looks of it, it'll be fine. Ooh, this is a good BGM.
Very nice.
Success.
We're left with precisely 6,262 meters per second of delta V. Oi, sir, what's delta V?
Kevin. At least we get another lesson. At least we get another lesson from Professor Martin.
Quite simple. It's how fast you're moving. For example, 4 meters per second. Or, for my American viewers, 2.77 Barrett M82A1s per second.
Yet again, and another Americanism I can't quite translate, but I do get it. Mostly because, let's just say the Barrett shoots pretty damn far. So, I get it. I can't translate it for you, but I do get it.
Velocity. It represents speed, but with direction. 4 meters per second, to the right. In physics, and in maths, the capital delta from the Greek alphabet refers to a change in something.
Alright.
So, delta V would be a change in velocity. For example, we're traveling forwards in a straight line at 100 meters per second. If we point our craft forward, how fast would you expect we go after burning all of our fuel?
200.
Well, since we have a... Kevin? Be quiet. Well, since we have 150 meters per second of delta V, we'd expect to be going around 250 meters per second. And sure enough, we do. If we face backwards and do the
Ish.
experiment, we
It
get
counts.
50 meters per second in the opposite direction. Nice. So why is this useful? Well, it basically measures how far our craft can go. Remember, our craft is being pulled by gravity. In order to escape its influence, we need to go fast. In order to go fast, we need to change our velocity, and thus, we need delta V. People have made these nice looking maps that give a rough estimate of how much you need to go anywhere in the solar system.
That is, Okay. Okay. I want to look at the chart, so let's just kind of dial back through this because Okay, so we have Kerbin. We have KO stationary orbit. We have the moon. We have Minmus. We have Elu. We have Kerbal, the sun. They charted this out. Dude, Kerbal Space Program players are fucking nuts. They charted out the entire thing. I am impressed. And also scared. Very, very scared of Kerbal Space Program players now. That actually got picked up out of my microphone. God fucking damn it. I'm just gonna cut that. I'm just gonna cut that out.
As we can see, to get to Duna, we need to escape Kerbin's gravity and then extend our orbit to intersect Duna's. According to the map, this will take us around 1,000 meters per second. Anyway, let's go to Duna.
This makes the math easy, I guess. Let's see how the rocket does. How the rocket do. How is Joe Biden going to make it? I think it will. Plus because, I mean, there's not like much of anything between it and Duna. Yeah, no, that's how vibey the music is. You can dance to that shit. See, I don't have full. You can tell I don't have full motion capture because only my head and shoulders are moving.
3, we carefully plot out a
Well,
course.
it's because I can't. This is a phone app that I'm using. Come on.
However, on the way there, I do this. Oh!
Oh no.
What happened here is my incredibly fat, sausage-like fingers
Oh
made the
no.
button and shot me straight past Duna.
Oh.
Are you nice? Not to worry though, we packed way more fuel than necessary and can literally just turn around and chuck her in reverse.
That's good. Martin, pal, buddy. The common factor to your problem seems to be you messing up with the time acceleration button. That's all I'm saying. I feel so bad for her, though.
To prevent shooting past again, we point backwards at the closest approach and slow down until we get a nice circular orbit. And there we have it. We're in orbit and mapping the surface of our first planet.
Alright, cool.
On to...
Launch 2. Now that we are orbiting Duna.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Launch 2 was a complete disaster. For Launch 2,
You explain.
the powerhouse of a rocket, Pog Frog 1, with one simple goal. Footprints and a flag on Duna. The rocket was going to place this section here in orbit of Duna. This lander would then separate and fly itself down to the surface where we'd do whatever it is we wanted to do. Whether that be running temperature scans, planting important flags, observing the goo, or dropping the Kerbal repeatedly on his head. After doing this important science, we'd hop in the lander and fly it back into orbit to meet up with the transfer stage. Fairly simple, right? Yeah, you'd think. Anyway.
So let's see. Show us, Martin. Show us. How badly does this go? If it's so not simple at all, how badly is this going to go? Eh?
Let's launch.
Okay, successful launch. Got off the planet just fine. Broke stages. Okay. So, what does the catastrophic failure
Here
happen?
in low Kerbal orbit that I realized my first mistake. Luckily, it was fairly inconsequential. Instead of a scientist, the game had placed an engineer into the rocket,
Oh.
meaning we had to launch a quick ship to swap out the Kerbals. After this, we transferred to Duna.
Alright.
In orbit, we separated the lander, hopped inside, and lowered our orbit into the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Where does it go wrong? The fucking memes he inserts into this, I swear to God. Okay, it's all going good so far. And we made it. How does it go badly then?
And there we have it. Urk hopped out and planted our first interplanetary flag. He named this incredible site Monkey Planet Now Claimed, and inscribed the plaque with truly an event to behold.
Well, there goes my fucking ears. Thanks for that. The actual fucking monkey screeches, I swear to God. Oh, God, Martin, God damn it.
It was at this point that I ended the stream. It was quite successful. Nothing exploded, no Kerbals died. Generally, good stream.
So how does it go wrong?
Next went as smoothly. The next stream began where the previous left off. We just landed and collected some sweet science. Now, in KSP, you can quite easily rack up huge amounts of science by visiting different biomes, and this is what I planned to do first thing this stream. Lucky for us, there was a different biome
Frickin' dogs.
quite close to our landing site.
He's
I
fine.
decided to go and visit. And then, this happened.
Ah! Yeah, that'd do it.
Well, fuck.
That'd do
No
it.
way to get back into orbit, no way to meet up with the transfer stage, and no way to get back home. Poor Urk was stranded. So, we immediately got to work on...
This is... okay. I completely forget the title of the movie, but it's the Matt Damon movie where he's trapped on Mars for like 10 years or shit. This is basically that. Basically that. I forget the name of the movie, though. Some of the comments remind me what the title of the movie is. No, it's called The Martian. Just called The Martian. Yeah. Just called The Martian. It's the Matt Damon movie. So that's what we're doing.
It was actually quite easy to design, because we'd already done it. Introducing Pog Frog 1.5. Thank you.
Fucking Steve
All we had to
Jobs
do was
image.
remove the science experiments, most of the transfer stage, add an antenna, and we were ready for launch. So,
Alright, simple enough. Simple enough, it's just a...
on the way up to orbit, this happened.
Oh.
Yes, that is in fact where the engine is supposed to be.
Uh-oh.
Despite this minor readjustment,
Um.
on with the upper stage and made it into orbit.
Okay.
In orbit, we opened up the solar panels and sent an alarm for Duna's transfer window, which was going to be in around 150 days, meaning Urk had to entertain himself on Duna's surface for over half a year.
Yeah, this is literally the plot of The Martian. Literally, it's literally just The Martian.
Poor Urk. We then set time acceleration to 1 million times and quickly got to the transfer window. Oi! Just wondering what a transfer window is?
I guess we need that explanation.
Nah, that's it. I've had enough.
But it was a legitimate question. What? It was a legit question, Professor Martin. Come on. Just eating my boy out in orbit.
Anyway, class, you may be wondering what a transfer window is. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Today, we're learning some more basic orbital mechanics. So, here I am, in orbit, at 75 kilometers in altitude, only just above Kerbal's atmosphere. Here is Jim. Say hi, Jim. He's orbiting at 150 kilometers in altitude.
Is something wrong with Jim? Has he been there too long?
If you said Jim, you're wrong, and you should feel bad. I orbit faster. But why?
Because you're closer to the planet, so your total orbit is a lot lower? I mean, that's kind of obvious, but let's hear let's hear the teacher talk about it so I don't get yeeted out into orbit like Kevin.
Well, firstly, if you cast your mind back to circle geometry, this circumference is smaller than this one, so it has a considerable distance to travel. On top of this, my craft is experiencing stronger gravity because it's closer. Stronger gravity means we need more force in the opposite direction to cancel it out, which means we need to go faster. Hence, our speed is higher, and our distance is shorter, making each orbit much faster than Jim's. This demonstration also applies to planets. Kerbal is closer to the Sun than Duna, and thus orbits faster. Sometimes they're close together, sometimes they're far apart. Now we would like to travel between them. Lucky for us, there's a time when they line up just right and a craft can travel between them very easily for relatively low fuel. This time is called a transfer window.
That makes sense.
The downside, of course, is you have to wait for it. Bringing us back to Pog Frog 1.5, sitting in orbit of Kerbal waiting for the optimal transfer window. And would you look at that? It looks like we're ready to go.
See, that would definitely be one of the things, like, if we ever do somehow at least get to a level of technology where we're sending people to Mars, maybe not colonizing it, but at least sending people to do it to do, like, geographical studies or shit, it would be such a long thing, because you'd have to imagine that going there, you have to wait for the transfer window between Earth and Mars, and then going back, you basically have to do the same thing if you want to minimize the logistics of it when it comes to fuel and stuff on the rocket and shit. Interplanetary science is complicated, yo. Goddamn. Plus, I think it's like, what, almost 5... It's been calculated as being like possibly 5 years of travel time if you do move through the appropriate window just to go from Earth to Mars and just by conventional rocket travel alone. It's a very studying logistics, like, I haven't done it in seriously. It's not like I've done a college course, but what I know about logistics just tells me, God, I do not envy the people who make this their job. I wish them luck. I salute you. Now let's see if we get Eric back. Oh, hi, Kevin. Okay, you can see how it kind of slingshots. Here it comes. Then Eric just kind of has to find his way to it. Simple. Simple. I'm gonna just alter some volume real quick.
Now, we have a slight problem. Our lander is quite low on fuel. Kerbal is about 19 kilometers away. Quite close to a half marathon distance. So, we better start waddling.
And off he goes. Off he goes.
Oh, wow, would you look at that? Amazing.
Simply phenomenal.
On fuel, but that should be okay. Let's get out of here.
The universe itself glitched out to make it go faster. Don't worry, it's not a big problem. Okay, back to the classroom. Let's sit down, see what Professor Mart has to say.
Oh, what?
Lost footage.
Fuck? Hold on, let me fix that.
Is it? Is this an orbiting classroom to regulation? I'm just a little concerned if progressive maintenance is the way you fixed it. I'm just saying.
Ah, there we go. A nice round orbit created by our large amounts of fuel and delta V that we absolutely had on our rocket without question. No questions.
Totally didn't cheat.
Only problem here is we seem to have run out of fuel.
Ah.
And we need to meet up with the transfer stage in orbit. But we can't.
Oh shit.
Because there's no fuel. So Urk is stranded again. I think you know what this means.
Another rocket?
This is even simpler than the last one. Because Urk is no longer on the surface of Duna, we don't need to include a lander. Instead, we can simply include a small orbital vehicle for Urk to use to reunite him with the transfer stage. Unfortunately for Urk, although this rocket is on the pad and ready to go, he'll still need to wait another 150 days.
And he has to wait that entire time just chilling in orbit. God, the Kerbals are built different if they can manage that.
To the transfer window, and another 100 for the transfer itself. Poor Urk.
He'll be fine. I think. Hopefully he doesn't get dragged back towards his planet and burn up in the atmosphere. How much money has Martin spent just doing this?
And we're here. Urk, however, doesn't have any fuel in his EVA pack, which means we need to move the rocket just right in order for him to grab onto the ladder. And then we get in,
okay,
meet up with the transfer stage, get inside, wait for the Duna to Kerbal transfer window, transfer back to Kerbal, ditch the engine and tank, re-enter Kerbal's atmosphere, open up the parachute, land, and recover the vessel. So finally, after several years in space...
It was literally just the plot of The Martian. Huh. I didn't know that Kerbin's had a stupidity stat. Holy shit. Why is Murford's stupidity so high? What effect does that have on a Kerbal pilot? Please, someone who plays Kerbal Space Program, tell me in the comments. I am genuinely curious what that does. Oh jeez, I feel so bad for Urk.
Urk is home. And unharmed. So we'll give him a one-day break, and then send him back out.
Bruh. We should give the man a vacation.
After a long and tedious design... Okay, let me let him back in.
Oh, she goes. Well, at least Kevin got to come back into the classroom.
Anyway, after a long design process, here is what the program has come up with. The wonderfully named Urk's Tomb, to remind us of how long he's going to be staying there. This craft is a ground base.
Ow.
Its goal is to land on the surface of Duna and use this little module here, a science lab. In a science lab, you place important data, collected from experiments, and analyze it. It takes in one science as one data, and after analysis, gives you 5 science. So basically, science times 5. Pretty pog if you ask me. Now, Mr. Kevin. Oh yeah? I'm going to issue you a challenge. If you can design the transfer craft and launcher for this base, I won't throw you into space ever again. Oh, and you have 4 seconds. Go. Okay, time's up. Oh, yeah, I think I did pretty good. Let's see what you got for us, Kevin.
Huh?
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. The optimized engines, the fuel ducts leading into the center stage, the 300 kilograms off the mass limit, the slightly scuffed fairing. It even has a watermark. Kevin? It's bad.
God Damn it! Kevin just can't win. He just can't win. God,
We're gonna use
God damn it, Martin.
us to Duna. Oi! Why'd you throw me out? You're using me craft. Yeah, anyway. Let's get this guy up.
Oh, it's so petty. It's so petty, I love it. Organ beats. Alright.
I think you know the drill by now.
Landing, get it done. And also, sorry, Urk, you're gonna be here for a long time. But there's a sticky note on the panel. I wonder if I could read it. Probably not. It looked pretty blurry. But hey, success!
Urk has touched down on Duna. Unfortunately for him, he will never leave again. He plants a flag and inscribes the plaque with... Uh-oh. He goes and runs all the experiments on the craft. This would ordinarily create a pretty big bounty of science for us. But with this science lab, we can turn it into a huge amount of science. Given some time. And after a year and a half sitting inside a cramped room collecting data,
sometime, a lot of time, nearly.
8,000 science for the program to use.
Nice.
Urk has made great sacrifices for our space program, and for that, we are thankful.
I would mostly imagine...
Urk, Godspeed.
I would mostly imagine what Urka's sacrifice would have been his sanity, but, you know... you know, that is, for the sake of the program and science and all that other stuff. Sorry, Urk, you now just have to be a Martian, and your tomb will probably be made on it, and you will be remembered fondly, don't worry. The Bean Space program will always remember your contributions, and, Godspeed, brother. Godspeed.
Oh, wait, what the hell? Where'd he go?
Something's happening now. Oh, Kevin's gone.
Kevin?
Oh. What?
Hey, Kevin, what are you doing?
Uh-oh.
What the fuck? Where'd you get that from? Kevin, get back. Kevin, what the fuck? I'm doing my own thing. Fuck you. Kevin!
Uh-oh. Oh, he had a warp drive.
Where'd he go? What the hell? He'll come back, right? Right?
I feel like he will, and I'm just concerned about what's going to happen when he does. This one's on you, Professor Martin. I wash my hands of this. I wash my hands of any consequences about this one.
Well, anyway, where were we? Oh, that's right. With our huge bounty of
Research.
science, we can research new and exciting technologies. Better heat shields, more efficient engines, and special nuclear reactors are all available to us now. Very good.
All that good
I
shit.
think this means
Very good.
we should start building...
Okay, what are we going to get this time? Is it going to be another of the Joe Bidoms, or is it going to be...
some probes, a lander,
We'll see.
and a base.
We'll see.
Now let's move closer to the sun, to the purple boy. Eve. The biggest bastard in the solar system. What are we going to do there? The exact same thing as with Duna, but with a single launch. We're going to send a relay probe and a base. No lander this time around, because leaving Eve is reserved for people that have gained access to their entire nervous system. So why leave a total bitch to leave? 3 things. It's a very dense atmosphere, general girthiness, and high gravity. At sea level, the atmosphere is so dense that some engines simply don't work at all.
Oh.
The other reason is that at Eve you need to be going at around 3,000 meters per second, which is pretty quick. So no leaving for us. Or at least our Kerbals. On this one,
they'll be fine.
Hellscape, we have recruited our man, our boy, our hero,
Obson
Kerman. He'll be seated in the craft science lab for the remainder of his life. Poor
Godspeed to you, Obson.
Anyway, You know the drill? Let's get to Eve.
More music to vibe to. Martin knows his good tunes.
Now that we're
And we made it.
we lower it into the atmosphere. Time accelerator ahead, burn up and explode.
Oops.
Just kidding, I'm a professional, and this is definitely something I would never do. What actually happened is
Really?
the lowest point of the orbit, around 50 kilometers up, so the atmosphere can slow us down. Wow, would you look at that? It's getting hot.
Big ol' heat shield.
Really, really hot. Must be all that friction, right? Yeah, that friction really generates a lot of heat on re-entry, doesn't it, guys? Yeah, friction! Definitely couldn't be any other mechanism other than friction!
That's not my phone.
Hello? Yeah, who is this? Wait, what about the YouTube comments? Oh, it's not friction? Huh. No, I didn't get it wrong in the last video. You see, there's this guy in my class, and he's called Kevin.
I mean,
Hello again?
Kevin's gone. Okay, so what's this lesson going to be about then? If it's not friction, what is it?
It's me, Vsauce Derek. I'm here to talk to you about compression. No,
Oh, compression.
air compression. Air compression is actually what causes the heat and re-entry. But how? Well, first off, what is air made of? Pretty simple.
Molecules.
It's made of molecules. A whole lot of molecules. Now, what is temperature? Also pretty simple. It's how much a given molecule or atom is vibing. More vibes equals more kinetic energy, which equals higher temperature.
Atoms get higher the more they pass the vibe check. That's it. It's just atoms vibe checking each other. That's all it is.
Fairly simple. So as you can imagine, if you squish a bunch of air molecules together, they're going to bump into each other quite a lot. Bumping into each other equals more vibes, which equals higher temperature. Now normally moving around in the air doesn't burn you to a crisp because the air molecules can get out of the way. However, say we're traveling at a modest 3 kilometers per second. The air molecules
that's
don't have
that's
enough time
fast.
to get out of the way and are compressed into a superheated plasma. Pretty cool. Actually no, pretty hot. Which
Yeah,
is
no,
why we
that's
have a
bad.
heat shield. Anyway, we don't burn up in the atmosphere, deploy the chutes, jettison the heat shield, deploy the legs, and touch down on the surface of Eve.
Success.
Very good.
Very good.
Leaves the confines of the science lab for the last time in his life and plants a flag reading, Hobson in the house. Once he gets
Poor
he
Hobson.
begins working through the mountain of data, slowly into sweet, sweet science. How much science? Well, after 3.5 years, he manages to acquire 25,000 science points. Well done, Hobson. Good job.
What about his partner? Hold up while we read this. I've been locked in this room for 3 years. This is my final message. Please send help. All he wants is science. I can't stop the research. And it just progressively goes crazier. Look, for the sake of progress and the sake of science, sanity will have to be sacrificed. Unfortunately, for the Kerbals, there are sacrifices for the sake of science. It's all good, though. It's all good. We have more. We always have more.
Like the last time, we use the science to unlock more parts, and then we go out again.
Watch 5.
So, there we go. Eve conquered in one launch. Very good. Next up, the Joule system. Now there's a problem with going to Joule. It's very far away, which means our high-powered 4G antennas can't reach it to communicate with our crafts. Even if we upgraded to the skin-melting speeds of 5G, the
This thing, giant fucking antenna, what the hell?
signal will still be lost behind all the planets. The solution? A relay satellite network in orbit of Joule. Like real 5G, our satellites are short range. So how do we solve this problem? More satellites.
As a guy who has a 5G internet router, yeah, that shit is very short range, and it's kind of distressing at times.
Behold, the great and powerful Telstra Incorporated 5G tower dispenser. The most powerful rocket ever built.
We promise it's not a joke about Tesla. We're not infringing any copyright here.
16 satellites per layer, 2 layers per hex section, 3 hex sections. In 96 satellites in a single launch.
Damn.
Very nice. 5G coverage, here we come.
And off we go. Let's hope the time acceleration doesn't screw us over this time. Good luck, Martin. Especially with the heat shield, because it's not like they're going to need it once they get to orbit. Whoop! Also, how do you do research on a gas giant? That's my question. And we'll see. We'll see when he gets there.
To spread the satellites out nice and far, we place the craft into an orbit intersecting Joule's chunkiest moon, Tylo. Then we max out the reaction wheels, spin up the craft to a truly eye-watering speed, and...
launch. There's so much coming off, the game just froze for a second. Damn. That is a lot of coverage.
And there we go. We've rendered the map completely unusable. It's absolutely everywhere. I see this as a complete win.
Well, now you just have a bunch of satellite arrays just spinning around a planet in complete nonsensical manners, but hey, it works. Even if the map is now a complete screen buster, and probably a PC roaster. Alright.
Now, I know I said I'd do an ELU base this episode, but I can't be asked. Once again, you'll have to wait for episode 3. I'll tell you when the next
patient.
comes out, but only if you subscribe. This is not optional.
Hey. Like I said last time. Martin. I'm already subscribed, so you can't threaten me with this.
Oh, and also follow my Twitter to gain deep insights into the human experience.
Twitter scares me. I'm on Twitter, and Twitter scares me.
This is also not optional. And while you're at it, like the video. Come on now. Being real for a minute, I have
Too many guns. Come on. You're Australian, man. Come on, you're not American.
haven't really acknowledged that I have in fact grown a whole lot.
I mean, this video is pretty old, so we'll just kind of leave this at the end. Oh, jeez. God, I enjoy Martin's content too much. I freaking... This is now, like, it. To quote Doofenshmirtz, if I had a nickel for every time one of my favorite YouTubers was Australian, well, I wouldn't have a lot of money, but it's funny, it's happened a few times. Because let's see, there's Martin, there's Remy Down Under, there's a few others. God, should I react to some of Remy's content? I don't know if Remy's content is good to react to. Badger's totally is, though. Badger's is definitely good to react to. I probably should. God, oh, that man just makes me laugh so much. Anyway, now that part 2 is done, we got 2 more before we finish off with the saga of Martin in Kerbal Space Program. Well, okay, technically 3 more, because he also broke the land speed record in it, like other people have done, and... oh god, was that nonsense. Well done. Till next time, so, see y'all then. Time to spend all night editing this video, goddamn.